Good morning, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of Live with Floris, where we meet successful and creative people all over the city who have a lot to offer to our communities. Today, we are meeting up with Francis McSherry, Northeastern University's resident costume designer. Francis has designed for the New York City Opera and Boston's very own Lyric Stage Company. Without further ado, I welcome Francis.
Hi, Floris.
Hi, Francis. Thank you so much for being on the show.
It's my pleasure.
So, without further ado, what inspired you to design costume for theater?
Well, being a costume designer is pretty much of a no-brainer for me because it combines four things that I really love: art, history, fashion, and psychology. We're all costume designers, and we get up in the morning and we put on clothes that are important to us. We always dress for a reason. So when I'm working on a play, I identify each of the different characters and I do the exact same thing for them. Plus, I'm creating a visual world of the production in the clothing.
So, what is like to design a theater for the costume, and what is the process?
So I start by reading the script thoroughly, right? And then I meet with the creative team and we talk about what kind of approach we might like to take with the show, whether it's going to be a little more realistic or something maybe a little more abstract. And then I start to analyze each of the characters and I start to understand what they might have in their closets. I do some sketches and then I go and I find the costume pieces, and I always, of course, have to keep within my budget. But the best part of the whole process is when I get to see them up on stage all together at dress rehearsal, and then I'm able to realize the entire world of the play through their clothing.
So, Francis, if you can design a Broadway show, what's the show will be?
Well, I've designed it before, but I think I'd really like to do Sweeney Todd on Broadway.
That's on my list as well, but why Sweeney Todd?
Well, I tend to like dark shows, and it's a kind of a musical that's not at all Disney-like. It's really kind of deep and haunting, and you remember it for a long time.
For sure. So, guys, don't go away. Francis will be showcasing her costume with us right after the short commercial.
Are you a Northeastern student who has always wanted to make a powerful impact on your community?
To give back to children and help with their early education?
Then we think you should get involved with Jumpstart, a national organization that pairs college students just like you to low-income preschool children.
You can assist these kids with their literacy and language skills so they can start their education off right.
All you need is a willingness to engage and help.
For more information, please contact our organization at jumpstartneu@gmail.com.
Welcome back to Live with Floris. We're here with Francis McSherry, who's about to show us one thing or two about creativity and art behind costume design in theater. All right, so are you ready to go through some of your work?
I am ready.
So first off, what do you have for us?
Yes, well, this is from a show that we did here in Northeastern Studio Theater, and it was for a play called Antigone. Antigone is a very, very old play, but we decided to do it much more modern. So this is for a character named Eurydice, and it's for the very pivotal scene near the end of the show where she's in great emotional turmoil. The entire palette for the costumes was black, but in this one I wanted to set her out away from the black of the crowd and dress her in this deep blood red.
Very nice. So, oh my God, this one's my favorite. Let's definitely talk about this one.
This was for a new rock musical called The Snow Queen, and this was the Snow Queen's costume. It is set in a kind of a punk rock, no, not punk rock,
Steampunk?
Steampunk, thank you. Period. And so that's why there are the Victorian influences within the costume. The power of the Snow Queen is apparent through the jacket, the broad shoulder, and the big sleeves. And also, I wanted to show her sensual side, so that's why I have a relatively low-cut neckline, a relatively short skirt, and some fishnet stockings. But the best part is the details. So the wig and makeup designer, Farrah Griffin, who is a student here at Northeastern, designed the wig, and it looks like a relatively simple, pale blonde page boy, but she lined it underneath with blue and turquoise so that when the Snow Queen flips her head a little bit, we see a flash of color. And that's what I love, is those little details that makes a good costume into a really great costume.
Well, I can definitely wear that for any occasions. All of these costumes are beautiful, if I must say for myself, and I love each one of them. So today, thank you so much for joining us today, Francis. And you guys, if you like what you saw today, check us out online at wuboston.com, where Francis shows us even more of her art and some secret tips on how to make the perfect costume. That's it for today. See you next week on Live with Floris.